Hello and welcome to another relaxed crafting session with me. We'll be working in this adorable little art journal, which I just love, 2 bits. I have been working in this on and off for 2 years, which is just amazing. And I'm not getting tired of it because it's just so cute. So the last time I worked in this was on video about 2 months ago. I will link that video, or I think I even have a playlist. I will link that playlist for you below in case you want to see. So this has filled up pretty nicely so far, but there are still a few pages that need some, I would like to fill up this whole journal. I want every page to have something. So you see here, there's still a few here that don't have anything on them. I don't think we'll be able to fill everything today, but we'll see how far we get. It's not about finishing it soon or anytime. Actually, I don't want to finish it very soon because I don't want this to end. Yes, I can make another one for sure, and I will. But for now, I still want to enjoy working in this little treasure. So the first thing I want to do is I want to add one of these little paper bags. I have just made some of these for my upcoming retreat in September to add to the goodie bags for all the participants, but I want to have one for myself as well as a memory for the event. And I like adding things in this little art journal that have significance in different areas of my life, whether it be digitals that I was using at the time, or little snippets from life, or words and sentiments that meant something to me at that particular time in my life. So that just gives it so much more meaning rather than just adding random things. I do that as well, but I also have, little tidbits here of things I wrote down. And what I regret not doing, and this is a tip maybe for you to do in the future if you want to have a journal like this in which you work over a longer period of time, is date your entries. There's only very, very few entries here that actually have a date, and that makes me sad. So take that as a lesson from me. Put in dates. So these are my parents, by the way. They both have passed. Again, my parents. Tidbits from Egypt, where my hubby is most of the time. Again, my mom. There's lots of dragonflies here as well, because dragonflies are very significant for me. It's the little creature that showed me my path to starting a YouTube channel, to starting a business. And they have kind of accompanied me through all the important stages of my life. So the dragonfly is also what I'll be putting on here. There's a lot of butterflies here too. Actually, where are my dragonflies? Ah yeah, here's one. Here's one on the closure. There's one here. Okay, so let's add another one and then we'll add that to the page. So what I'm doing here with this is quite basic, but I think in the end, it has so much character. So I wanted to do this in this video because maybe you have paper bags, or it doesn't even have to be a paper bag. It could just be a piece of scrap paper that you could do this with, and you use whatever is significant for you in your life. And I'm going to start off with my favorite color combination, which is a light blue, like a sky blue, and a yellow ochre. Love so much. I feel at home with these colors. Obviously, you will have different colors that you can feel at home with. That was too much. As always, Barbara. So I'm just taking this little brayer. Way too much. And I'll just do that. That's it for the blue color. So I will use this on some more paper bags. I think I need to make some more for the retreat anyway. So I'll just do that off camera. Actually, I don't need to do that off camera. Let's just do it together. We're in this together, I'm sorry. And I love how easy and quick and different all of these little paper bags are. Anybody can do this. And the imperfections just make it perfect. If you don't have a brayer like this, you can use like a credit card kind of thing. Don't use your actual credit card, but you know, like a card you don't need anymore. Even a wide paintbrush would work. Just one more. So I want to make sure that all of this is dry before I add the next layer, because obviously yellow and blue make green. That is the last thing I want to happen. And if you follow me on Instagram, you will have seen a few days ago the making of these. I had it in my stories. So I'm just going over this, and it's so easy, but it's so effective. As I said, it's super quick. And if this is the first time you're hearing about my retreat, you can find the link with all the information and a video below in the description box. There are still a few tickets left. There are 3 dates in September. And the location is Salt Lake City, Utah. And for those of you who have signed up, I am so excited to finally meet you in person. It's going to be amazing. So I'll continue just with the one now for my little art journal. So this is dry as well. And now I'm going to add my favorite stamp. So choose whatever favorite stamp you have. This is mine. This is my Egyptian dragonfly. This was custom made for me in Egypt and given to me as a present by my dear friend Iman, who I got to meet in Cairo on my last trip to Egypt in June. So this is super special. I would actually love to have this as a tattoo on my back, but I don't know if that's gonna happen. I would do it in a heartbeat, but my hubby is not a fan of tattoos. I mean, he loves the way they look, but he's not happy about having something permanent on your skin and the chemicals. And he says if you start with one, you get addicted and you want more. And yeah, he's just not having it. And of course I could say, hey, my body, I do what I want, but I do want him to like it as well. So I don't really want to go against his wishes in this case. There are things that are definitely worth fighting for, but I'm not sure that this is one of them. But also I haven't quite given up on it yet. We've just had one talk, so maybe it just takes a little time for him to get used to the idea. We'll see. It's not perfect, but it doesn't have to be. I still think it's beautiful. And by the way, for all of you who have been asking when I'm going to do a retreat in Europe, I hope to have one next year, so 2026 in Vienna. It will be completely different to what I'm doing in the US now. I have something in mind, but I don't know when that will be. Spring or summer maybe, I don't know. Don't worry, I'm not forgetting you guys. Let's just see how this one goes in the US first. So next, I also want to add a sentiment down here, which I'm going to stamp on a separate piece of paper. And I'm using one from this collection, Stampers Anonymous Tim Holtz, with the name Tiny Text CMS 394. And it's this one that says, with brave wings she flies. That is just the perfect sentiment for the retreat. And I'm stamping this onto a blank book page. This is one of those, I don't know what you call them. They're not the end pages, but you usually have like a blank page at the beginning or sometimes also at the end of books. So I love keeping these because they have such beautiful patina and they're perfect for stamping sentiments. And I like cleaning the edges because I don't like having those on my project. I know some people actually either don't care or actually like it. I don't like it. I just want the sentiment. Oh no, where's this? Shoot. What happened to my S? I think I wiped it away with the cloth. Okay, let's try this again. That's better. So I hope you've also taken out a project, whatever that might be, that you're working on while you're watching this. It gives me the feeling that we're actually sitting at a desk together, crafting together rather than always crafting alone. I'm assuming most of us craft alone, which is actually also fine. I love crafting alone as well because it gives me such a peace of mind. It calms my nerves. And I always feel better after a crafting session. I find it very, very therapeutic. So that goes on the bottom here. Then we add another sentiment here on the bottom flap on the back side, which is from the same stamp collection. And this time we're going to add, where is it? Here, You Are Enough. I'll use my smaller acrylic block, makes it a bit easier. And I don't know how that could happen, but I actually almost forgot to add some gold splatters. I mean, hello, who am I? I'm going to use these beautiful watercolors by the company Sienna. These are from Egypt. I've shared these in, I think, my last Plan With Me video. This was also gifted to me by Sweet Iman. This is my name, Barbara, in hieroglyphs. And we have 3 golds here. We have some bronze. Just beautiful. I should cover up my sentiment. So there we go. That is very much me, I would say. And next, we're going to add a fun little charm on the corner here. So I'm just going to punch a small hole here, like that. And then I have this cute golden bulb pin. And on that, we will add some beads. So I have some matte gold ones. I have light blue or turquoise ones. And I will also add a little golden star. So I'll start off with the blue. It is more blue than turquoise, actually. Then a gold, then another blue. And finally the star. And then we put that through the hole. Cute little decoration, also kind of holds the flap a little bit closed, at least. Very quick, very fun. And these are the ones that I have already prepared for the retreat. They all have little charms inside to add to your journal. These were a lot of fun to make. I really enjoyed these. So instead of the charms, I would add the charms actually, but they would make my journal way too bulky. It's already a little bit of a gator mouth. I don't want to exaggerate too much. So instead, I want to write a note from the point of view from my future self who has already had the experience of the retreat to my current self, if that makes sense. So I'll share with you what I wrote. Dear Barbara, this retreat was born from your vision, your values, and your heart. It's more than a gathering. It's a celebration of everything you've worked so hard to build. You've shown up with courage, creativity, and so much love. When the nerves creep in, when the to-dos feel endless, remember this. You've already created the magic. Now it's time to live it. Trust yourself. Trust the sisterhood. Trust the journey. You are not alone, and you were made for this. You are a heartbeat away from something beautiful. Let joy lead the way. With love, your future self, standing proud at the retreat, watching it unfold. So I think whenever I start doubting myself, I can just read this, and I know this is going to make me feel better and calm me down. So let's fold this up. If you're wondering about the blue color, this is from a video where I dyed these. You can find that video linked below. Of course, this doesn't fit now with the pin here. I love having meaningful things like this in a journal. Okay, let's find a place to put it. And we have to decide how are we going to put it. I think I'll just put this in a belly band. Yep, I think that is the easiest solution. So, or we could also just stick it in a pocket, but I don't think I have, well, maybe, let's see. Maybe I have a pocket. Otherwise, we make a belly band, right? Here's one, but no, that doesn't work color-wise at all. We could add a belly band here. This, color-wise, this would be the perfect spot because it has the same background colors. Should we just make a belly band here? Let's do that. So another thing I want to add to the goodie bags for the retreats are stamps, like postage stamps. So let's make a belly band with lots of postage stamps on it because that will, again, give it meaning. And as a base, we can just also use this book page here. I think I will want the stamps to go over the edges of the belly band, so I'll make the belly band fairly narrow. I think we'll do it like this, and we can make it a little wider than our page. And even though I'm adding different stamps, little goodie bags, I'm adding anything but US stamps because most of the participants are from the US, so I wanted to give them something which is not from the US, you know what I mean? But for my belly band, I'm actually going to choose only US stamps because I will be traveling to the US. The retreat is in the US. So for me, that makes more sense. Now, where did my belly band go? Oh, here. Okay, I do want the colors kind of to go with what I have going on here. I don't think I want anything Christmassy. Yellowstone. I've been there a couple of times, but it's been a really long time and this is too big. Purple actually would fit because I have some there. I have a neutral one. Red is not going to work. There's another purple one. Oh, this one I think I need with the American flag. That one would work. Another neutral one. Oh, look at the cute strawberries. I love it. It totally doesn't work with this page, unfortunately. How cute were those? Or do we just do it all purpley? We could do that too. Seem to have enough of those. Or purple and pink. I could put the Statue of Liberty in the middle. I don't want them all in a row. I want them kind of like lopsided. That's actually great color-wise because that will tie the two pages together. I need to stick to this end. I can't go over that because that is the inside. I need another pink one. Yes. Oh, that's perfect. So for those of you who don't know, I have lived in the US. First of all, as a child, I went to elementary school there for 2 years in New York. And later on, much later, I was actually engaged to a US Marine and lived for 6 months in Vista, California, close to Camp Pendleton. As you can imagine, that didn't work out. My heart broke at the time, but yeah, I had to call off the engagement. That was a really tough thing to do. But that was a decision I never actually regretted, even though it was so hard to make. And then I visited the US for US and Canada, but more US, for the next 10 years, every year. So I've seen a lot of the US and some of Canada. And I also attended the American International School here in Vienna, where I live, and graduated from there, and also worked in the American International School in the high school office for 5 years before I created my own business to have this YouTube channel and to have my online shop. So I have deep connections with the US. I will always be a huge fan. I'm not going to go into politics now. I know a lot of crazy things are happening, but that's not what my channel is about, so I'm not going to go into that. Cute! I don't know how these two fit together, but I actually love it because they don't fit together. And I like that this pin kind of peeks out here on the bottom of the journal. Yay! I'm very happy with this page. It's so simple, and sometimes the simplest things I think are the best. So next I want to rummage through my basket of miscellaneous things that I want to use at some point. I haven't been very good at using these things. I'd like to challenge myself maybe to use something round again, because it's been a while and I'm always struggling to use round things. So in order to get better at that, we should, oh, this is cute. We should use something, but I don't want to use this. Look, I have this here. Obviously, I've cut this from a piece of acetate. It's a very cool piece, actually. These are going to be too big for my journal. Oh, but I have this. Looks like it was like from a chocolate. Maybe these in combination. Let's see what we could do with this. I could just put something in between here, then make it into a Christmas ornament. No, let's see. Does this fit in my journal? Yeah, it would if I find the right place. I guess it would need another belly band. So we'll figure that part out later. I just have an idea what I could put in here. I shall be right back. So I just printed a photo. I think many of you will know who this is. This is, of course, Sting, legendary singer, whom I just saw last night. Epic concert by a castle 1.5 hours away from Vienna, Burg Klamm. Oh my goodness, it was amazing. And we had front stage, you can see from the view here, we had front stage standing places. It was really amazing. So I want to capture this memory. So why not put him in this to make it a little more interesting? Okay, so I will use the same die, whoops, which I think was this one. Yeah. So I'll use that to cut him out. Okay, so we have this, and if we put it in between this, I'm not feeling it. Don't think I like this brown background. And I don't think I even like this dark background, although he does pop because he has a white t-shirt. By the way, I have so much respect for Sting because he is 73 and he's still making world tours. I think soon he's going to go to Asia, then he's back in the US, then he's back in Europe. It is absolutely crazy how he can still perform night after night. It's amazing. Wow. So I'm thinking, let's cut him out and give him a cooler background. How about that? And then we'll go from there. If I have that energy with 73, I think I will be happy. And I'm guessing he's enjoying it because I can't imagine that he would need the money. So I think he really just wants to do that. Have any of you ever seen him live anywhere? If you did, please write it in the comments and write where you've seen him. I mean, he's given so many concerts. Maybe you've even seen him when he was still with the Police. I mean, the band. I would be super interested. I also posted some video clips in my stories, but by the time this video is up, those will be gone already. And I cannot post them here on my channel because of copyright issues. I mean, just imagine you're next to a medieval castle and you have this huge stage and you see Sting live. I think there were around 9,000 people. And we actually left a little bit early because you have to drive there with the car, or there were also buses, but we drove there from Vienna with a car. So it's 1.5 hours from Vienna, my bestie and I. And it took like almost half an hour to get from the castle and the stage to the car. And then imagine 9,000 people walking down that path and then 9,000 people driving away at the same time with their car. That sounds like a nightmare. So that's why we decided to leave a little bit early. I think that was a really good decision. Although, of course, we missed some of his songs. Unfortunately, and that broke our hearts, we missed Desert Rose, which is both of our favorite songs. But we kind of heard it on the way down to the car from a little farther away. But yeah, we had to sacrifice that song. Also, it was really late. The whole concert began at 6, but Sting didn't come out until almost 9 p.m. And my bestie had to get up really early the next morning. So there was no other way. Okay, he's a little purple around the edges because of the light, but that's okay. So first of all, he needs wings. I have these from a printable of mine. I don't know if this is a freebie or not. I will try to find this and link it for you below. And I printed this smaller. Usually this is on an A4 sheet. And I printed this, obviously, as you can see, on an overhead transparency. Perfect for wings. And, ooh, it gets a little bit yellow, which fits to his guitar, or blue, which fits to his pants and his shirt. No, I like the yellow. I love the combination with the guitar. I know it's such a classic to give people wings, but if anyone deserves wings, it's Sting. It's my opinion anyway. Okay, let's do this. Do you think he would like himself with wings? I mean, who wouldn't? Sure, I'm not the first person to give him wings. Yay! Okay, now we need a background for him. Okay, I found the perfect stamp. It's music notes. I don't know when I ever used this. Apparently I did, but it must have been years. And this is a random stamp, maybe from Action. No idea. So let's put that on our acrylic block. And then let's take some, this is a little bit of thicker paper. It's actually the paper that I printed him on, so it's matte photo paper. It doesn't matter. And I'm going to emboss this with black sparkle embossing powder. This one is by Hero Arts. I love this one a lot because of the sparkles, and he needs sparkles. We'll have to do a few of these because I wanted to fill out the whole circle. Maybe it would help if I would trace this so that I know where to stamp. How about that? And I'll use my embossing stamp pad instead of the dabber because the stamp pad will give me a more detailed stamp than if I ink this up with the dabber, because the dabber is really, really juicy. And so it gives a more bold print. This has so many fine details that I would not want to miss those. This is going to be interesting because I don't know how well I can place it. Is this going to work? I don't know. I'm having a lot of doubts here that this is actually going to work. Yeah, it's not. Okay, that was a fail. So apparently this stamp pad is too dry. So that means we will try it with the dabber. Okay, so this is the Distress Embossing Dabber in Clear by Ranger and Tim Holtz. You always store these upside down. I can already see this is better. I mean, it's gonna stick this time, but I don't know if it's gonna look good. Oof, this is horrible. No. I mean, I like the idea a lot. Oh, I love that you could see the music through the wings. But my stamping is horrible because it's not aligned in any way. So I would either need a bigger stamp or... I just had an idea. Something so much simpler, although I would have loved to have the sparkle. So the most obvious thing to do, of course, is to use music sheets, right? What would Sting think of Beethoven? I don't know. Yeah, that would look great. But I want sparkle. Okay, I have two other ideas. I'm not loving this because somehow I really pictured like a modern background, and this is not a modern background. This is not going to work for me. So I was thinking either we go with tickets in the background because concert tickets, right? And there's even one here. This is, by the way, this is the Tim Holtz ticket booth set. And there's one here that says admit one. So maybe I could use this, or maybe I could use, oh, this also says admit one, a variety and stamp them next to each other. I would like that idea a lot. Or another cool one I have is this one. This is from Carabelle Studio. This has the number SA50016. This is a French company. And this here looks super cool. I could really imagine this here in the background. Super cool. So I would say let's try both and then we'll decide which one to go with. So I'm going to stick to my dabber. I'm just going to ink up the middle part here of the stamp. Ooh, this looks super cool. This is so gorgeous. You can't really see the sparkles in the camera. Is it too busy though? He doesn't stand out as much as I thought he would. I'm not sure. Okay, so the other one, we'll get some of these. Oh, it looks like it has dried already. The first ones. Oh no, okay, we're good. This has potential for sure. So this is what it looks like when it's embossed. Let's see. Okay, I think I need to cut out both of these circles to actually see what this will look like. So here's number 1. This is the French stamp. I think I need to cut his leg off. I'm so sorry, Sting. Yep, that's better. So that's the French one. And this is the one with the tickets. There's not a huge difference, I have a feeling. Maybe there's a little more white space here because I left some space in between the stamps. I think I like this one better because of the significance of the tickets. That just makes more sense than a random stamp. Just glue him on. And then I want to attach the acetate on top. And I think I'll do that by sewing around it. Look at this. I started sewing around and now I have like this gap here and it's like the bottom piece is too big. And it's gonna make a huge fold here if I try to continue to sew this. You see this? What on earth? I don't know how I did that. I will have to open this again. And I'm just worried that if I sew through that again, that the paper will completely tear. I'll be right back, hopefully with a good looking, whatever this is. Yay, I did it. So I stitched around it twice with a running stitch, and I also added on the back here, Sting Live Book Clam, which is the castle, July 15th, 2025. And I would like to put this in a belly band, and I found one here. I just need to put this somewhere else. I made a little note on the back here, but that can go anywhere. Yeah, that can fit in there. And we've got golden stars, which is perfect somehow. So now we just need to find, I think I have a couple of pockets that don't have anything yet where I can just stick this inside. Yep, here for example. Perfect. It's even a lot more visible on this page than it was behind the belly band. So perfect. Yay. I love this. What a fun way to alter a photo to make it into something unique. Oh, I kind of bent his guitar. I just see that. Do you see that going up? I'm so sorry, Sting. Your guitar is broken. Your legs are cut off. You grew wings. Oh my goodness. I don't know if he would really enjoy this transformation. And then we had, of course, this here, which I also love a lot. So thank you for hanging out with me. If you enjoyed this video, I would greatly appreciate a thumbs up and a comment if you have something nice to say. Love you guys. Mwah, mwah.